Go! Here we are at Viking Digital Solutions. Colby, you want to show us this awesome thing you just discovered?
Yeah, so I think we talked that I was going to be meeting with a representative from Viking Sprinkler to learn about their VCalc program. And that was pretty awesome, and hope to be doing some videos on that in the future. But when I was just kind of exploring on their website, I ran across this as well. And so I just wanted to do like a quick little run through. It's kind of interesting, I thought. Virtual Viking, they have this VR experience that you can download for free through Steam, the gaming platform, if you're familiar with it. And so I did that, and so I just thought I'd kind of show you guys what it's all about. I've got my Steam right here, and so if you have the Steam app, you can just do a search for Virtual Viking, and this is it right here. And I thought it was kind of interesting, just looking through the comments. It's funny, like this first one says, "I thought Valve had made a follow-up VR game about Vikings and made it free to play. Instead, I learned more than I ever wanted to know about water pressure, valves, pipes, sprinkler systems, fire sensors, and fire safety." I thought that was funny. There was a few comments like that. So I have this already right. I'm gonna go ahead and play it so we can check it out. Now, I don't have a VR that is compatible with this, and I'm just gonna be doing it on my desktop. You can do it either mode. It definitely seems like it would be cool in VR. It's an interesting concept here.
So I guess if you had those VR glasses, like from a video game, you could actually be walking around in your living room, turning your head and seeing all this like 3D.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have VR on the PlayStation, and so it reminds me of that. I can tell it's very similar.
Looks like Minecraft.
So you just pick whatever course you want over here to go through. It's like a 3D virtual training session. They've got some interesting things here on how to operate all these different valves. One of the things I was messing around with is just the dry pipe valve. Might try and go in there. I did get stuck. I don't know if this thing is still in beta or what, but it's very interesting. But there was a point on that one where I did get stuck and was unable to move forward. But let's just go ahead and start this basic course. I'm gonna add it to the playlist and hit go. Just kind of loading things up here. Here we go.
Thanks for joining Viking's Product and Location Experience. Today we're in MV Tower, a multi-zoned high-rise building. We are going to look at the sprinklers and supporting components that protect this area, starting with the residential zone. To begin, let's learn how to move around. Press and hold on the joystick or thumbpad button and point the line that appears at the green circle. Nice job! Now we can take a look at our first product.
Like Google Maps, right?
Yeah.
Point at the product tab and you will see a line appear. Once it is over the product tab, pull the trigger on the back of the controller to open it.
So
you can pull any product closer by pointing at it.
Are you using a video game controller?
I'm using my mouse. Or do you hear the the program speaking about the product? Okay. So once that stops, you can just.
Several products will have an adjustable attribute that we can do in real time.
You can kind of look it around.
Finish. Point at one of the circles in the top row and pull the trigger.
So for you, it's just holding down the mouse.
Yeah, and you could change these finishes.
Great. Now let's change the bulb's temperature. Point at one of the. Awesome.
Wow.
Lastly, some objects have a demo available. To see the product in action, point at the demo button and pull the trigger.
And is that for demolition?
It's just going to show what it looks like when water.
It puts out poison gas.
Viking provides a specially designed wrench for the installation.
It's a concealed pendant there.
Viking also offers a cap removal tool to aid in finishing the job on the ground.
Okay, that's interesting. Let's see if we can move on now.
Point at the X in the upper right corner and pull the trigger to close the window. Let's move on to the next point.
Wow, what a brave new world we're in here.
The apartment we'll be going through today is a moderately sized 2-bedroom apartment, which is an example of a light hazard occupancy. Because this is a livable space, residential fire sprinklers will be installed here. These type of residential sprinklers are intended to protect the area by spraying water not only on the floor, but also on the walls. In this location,
you think that's purposefully 12 feet away from the wall right there? Or 16 where they started you, or 8 or something? It would be 8, right?
To check them
You
out.
mean for the distance of the sprinklers?
Yeah, your minimum distance from the wall.
Well, like this one right here is actually a sidewall that they're showing. They have several examples in here.
Oh, okay. It would be the maximum distance that would be the problem, not the minimum distance again, right?
Well, minimum distance with these is usually 8 feet apart that you have to be. That is, you do kind of have to watch out for that. See, this is showing you a sidewall. See what happens.
Sidewall sprinkler has a K factor of 5.8 and is linked to the wall. The cover plate is available in standard color offerings, as well as custom paint colors and decorative metal finishes to meet design requirements.
It's pretty interesting. I mean, this is just a cover plate. I think it's going to make me go through each one to move on.
Skip it.
Large concealed push-on cover plates from Viking are available at temperatures.
They show the different colors you can get the cover plates in.
They're 3 by 5/16 inch diameter low-profile covers used with Viking concealed pendant sprinklers for commercial and residential use. Installed flat with the ceiling to provide a smooth appearance and are available in several standard decorative finishes. Viking cover plates may also be custom ordered with any color by any paint manufacturer.
What were you going to ask?
You can't just skip this one and go on to the next one. It makes you do each one.
I'm trying to figure that out. It looks like I can, if I go to the,
There's that other.
Close that, it'll let me skip it. That's the way to move ahead faster.
The apartment bedrooms are also protected by the VK form. Many pipe types can be used. However, in this case, Viking Blazemester's piping is chosen because of its ease of installation, which helps lower the overall cost of installing the system. Viking's line of InstaSeal CPVC head adapters allow fast.
And then I'm guessing if you hit that button on the right there, it just takes you to the product page.
Yeah, on their website.
For efficient installation and can be used for sprinklers having a K factor of 5.8 or less. InstaSeal head adapters are available in 1 inch and 3/4 inch slip by thread and spigot by thread models. The T's and elbows.
I mean, it's pretty. Especially if you have, never experienced any of this stuff, it's pretty useful.
Yeah, I could do a lot of learning.
Commercial sprinklers are available as standard coverage or extended coverage. Since this is a hallway, the VK4621, a standard coverage concealed sprinkler, is what we'll find here.
You know what would be kind of cool? It makes me think.
Now that we're out of the apartment, let's make our way to the stairwell.
I've been trying to learn from you
down the hall and around the corner.
Some of those features of why we use sprinklers where we do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yes.
What if we built a little training room in Chief Architect?
That's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Go on a tour and show them, like, here's why we have to be this far away from this.
Yeah.
Your head, for instance, and here's why we're using the concealed versus the,
Yeah, that's interesting. Chief Architect has VR walkthrough capabilities as well.
Man, that would be pretty advanced training.
So we could create that, and it would be in VR. And it does have a few residential sprinkler tools built in. So we're in the hallway, and this is
like what we were talking about in our other video. You were doing in a hotel, right?
Yeah, this is the standpipe system. And here's the floor control valve for this floor. It's feeding the wet pipe system here.
EasyPack floor control riser manifold assemblies are.
Oh, I forgot I can move around a little bit on some of them. Not this one, I guess.
The drain and an inspector's test valve. The variety of drain options include a simple ball valve, test and drain, or test. Let's head downstairs to see the other environments in our high-rise building.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. Fade to black.
I think we just fell down the stairs.
Right.
Everything went black. Too many of those. We shouldn't have stopped at the bar.
Opposite the standpipe assembly is the entrance to an office environment. Let's check it out. The office space is considered a light hazard, which means that it can be protected by the VK3021 in areas with an open ceiling. Additional special application sprinklers can be used in specific locations.
We have a travertine to the floor.
Great.
Coverage area and
24 foot tiles.
Ordinary hazard. An office space like this one is considered light hazard. 3021 Quick Response Pendant Sprinkler is a small glass bulb sprinkler available with various temperature ratings to meet design requirements. The sprinkler is available including brass, polyester, and electroless nickel PTFE PNG coatings.
Fantastic.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, I think we're getting close. The coolest thing at the end is there's a valve room.
Ah, they take you up on the roof?
No, it's at the riser room.
Well, no, I'm just wondering if somewhere in the tour.
Oh, that...
Because there is equipment on the roof in most places, right?
Yeah, well, like on that standpipe, there could be a roof manifold if there's roof access.
Yeah, there's usually most commercial buildings, there's some kind of equipment up on the roof, the HVAC equipment and such. And one of those big ladders going up that way.
And its concealed cover plate is available in several finishes.
Right. If a building like this wouldn't have standpipes and a roof hydrant unless it was over 4 stories high.
Is the glass wall between the walkway and the work area. The VK960 vertical sidewall window sprinkler is used to protect this wall, as it safeguards the glass from getting too hot and shattering. Click to learn more. VK960 specific application covered vertical sidewall window sprinkler. A horizontal sidewall version, VK962, is.
This one's specifically designed to spray on the window, a window sprinkler.
Interesting.
Now that we've returned to an area with that open ceiling design, we'll see standard pendant sprinklers. Head toward the elevator to go to our next location.
There we go.
We're in the elevator, huh?
We have arrived on the retail floor. Some notable differences from the first 2 environments are that the ceilings are higher and the products used to protect this area are different from previous environments.
Here you're going to have concealed, right?
Where you can purchase a wide variety of Viking apparel and branded items.
They have concealed heads in here, but to me that's unusual to have concealed heads in a commercial space.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, at least in our area here.
Almost all sprinklers can be installed with light hazards, but ordinary hazard occupancies require that special sprinklers, like extended coverage sprinklers, be specifically listed for the installation. Extra hazard occupancies limit the response and area of coverage. The more challenging the occupancy hazard becomes, the fewer sprinkler choices you have to protect the space. Here we have the VK538, which is an extended coverage ordinary hazard sprinkler. The VK538 is perfect for protecting sizable department stores because it has a large coverage area, which means
Sure. That time it looked more like water. The other ones all looked like black dust.
Viking's Mirage model VK5.
Well, that's kind of a joke in the sprinkler industry. Sprinkler water's always black.
And it's kind of hard to draw something that's see-through.
The 4-inch model M2 check valve is a UL-listed general-purpose rubber-based check valve. The model M2 is manufactured with a ductile iron body for less weight and extra strength, and it utilizes EPDM rubber.
It's like my screen's a little dark.
Stainless steel clapper assembly, brass seat, and a replaceable rubber seal.
Oops.
It has a 1/2-inch MPT drain boss upstream of the seat and is spring-loaded. The M2 check valve is an ideal check valve for fire department connections. Just like the above floor, there's a standpipe assembly, but this time we can take a look at the L1 inline check valve.
Check the check.
Right.
Check it out.
Valves are general-purpose rubber-faced check valves. These valves, which are manufactured with a brass body, brass seat, and a rubber-faced clapper assembly, may be installed vertically or
So
horizontally.
those are grooved
The
connections.
unique feature of these small check valves is that they were purposefully designed.
Let's see here. Fade into black again.
Down the stairs again.
Welcome to the parking garage. Garages are categorized as ordinary hazard.
Wait, my car's not where I left it.
Requirements for proper protection. Because parking garages are large open spaces, we'd ideally like to reduce the number of sprinklers installed. An extended coverage sprinkler listed for ordinary hazard is a natural choice here. Let's move forward and take a look at one.
I don't know what this car is, but I want one.
Yeah, they should let us drive around in the Altima
Right.
Mercedes, please.
Above us
Let's
is
go to the next floor.
an extended coverage ordinary hazard upright sprinkler, which is suited to this application because of its ability to handle ordinary hazards over a large area. Click on it to see how it works.
So these are like a standard exposed.
An extended
Yeah,
coverage
upright sprinkler.
that is listed for ordinary hazards.
I mean, this one's an 11.2 K factor, which means it's going to have a big threads on it, probably 3/4 inch.
Which is a bigger spray.
Yeah, it dumps
Or
more
more
water.
pressure. Or both.
More water. You can dump more water on it.
More GPM.
Higher volume. Let's see, what do we do now? Oh, here we go. There's the valve room.
What is the PSI and kind of standard in a big building like this inside of those?
Well,
It's much lower than the supply, right?
I mean, like, what kind of PSI does it take to operate it?
Right. Well, no, I'm curious what it runs on. Is it I think a standard residential is like 60 PSI, right?
Well, so like a single sprinkler head takes 7 PSI minimum to operate. But like basically, for the most part, there's a certain pressure at the street, and what we're doing, the pressure is really determining what size the pipes will be to get the flow where we need it. Like the higher the pressure, the easier it is to get the GPM you need with smaller pipes. But like,
yeah, that comes down to efficiency of basically spending less money on materials in the long run, right?
yeah, and it can vary quite a bit from place to place. And you know, sometimes if you have a big building with big requirements and they have poor water, you might have to add a booster pump to increase the pressure to make it be able to operate, especially if they have some sort of big demand. Like in here, this room has a pump.
Here we can see the
I was
fire
only thinking more in terms of, I know at least one situation we talked about where the fire department could, in theory, come and hook their truck and pump water into a system, right?
Right.
And so they would be, I would imagine, working at quite a bit lower pressure pumping from a truck. Maybe not. I don't know.
I think generally they're like 150 psi is what they're rated for, the pumper trucks.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty high. So that's not going to be a problem.
No. You know, generally it's more, the thing that we're more concerned about, I mean, we are concerned with pressure, but generally it's more the GPM total that we're really worried about.
Okay. It's good to know.
If the GPM that's available at the street isn't high enough for the system demand, you know, we're in trouble. We're going to have to bring in more water somehow. That's more of a problem than just increasing pressure.
You can just add a booster pump.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to, no, we're not getting enough water here.
Right.
Extra dry valves supply the underground levels of the building. Since the underground levels aren't heated, a wet system may freeze. However, since dry systems don't have water in the pipes, they are more suited to protect unheated environments. Click on the VXR to get a close look. The VXR dry valve is an externally resettable latching differential valve used to separate the water supply from the dry pipe sprinkler system.
This right here is basically what I see as the best use of this software.
The Viking model Virtual Accelerator.
Like being able to see the 3D view inside of a component?
Well, specifically to learn how to reset dry pipe valves. This is something that there's a lot of guys that don't know how to do and don't want to know how to do. They see it as being too hard, you know. It's just kind of a strange thing that if you can reset a dry pipe valve, that makes you valuable.
Huh.
You can exit in front of you or you can explore on your own.
Yeah, take a close look into it and take the complexity out of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so we'll complete this, and I'll just, I don't think that's probably enough for our demonstration today, but here's that dry valve that we were just looking at. This is basically, if you go into this, it's just in-depth, everything on how to operate it. And this is kind of like a newer style dry pipe valve that's easier to reset. Whereas this one down here is kind of like more the old style that's more traditional, and they're a little bit more difficult. But a lot of times this is the style that you will see on existing systems if you're like a maintenance guy out there working or whatever. They're going to be more of this older style dry pipe valve. But I don't know, I can't remember if it was this one I was trying to do or this one. And I got to a point, like I was turning the valves just fine, but there was one thing I needed to bleed off with a wrench, and I couldn't get that to work in the VR for some reason. I'll have to try playing around with it. Maybe I can get it figured out.
Oh, it actually lets you play with it and do it?
Yeah, like it's like that's what the whole purpose of these is. Like you go into here and they teach you how to reset a dry valve and stuff.
Wow, that is really cool. I thought
I don't know. Maybe I can't remember which one. If it was this one or this one. Let me just go into it and see if it. I don't want to take another 25 minutes for this video today. How much time you got?
Well, let's just pop in and see what it.
Yeah, if I get stuck at the same spot, it won't take very long.
A few minutes. Show a little sneak preview, because that could be a whole separate, video compressor.
Yeah, it was this one, I think.
The VXR dry system equipped with an accelerator.
Nice.
VXR is a differential dry valve that operates on a mechanical advantage with a 6-to-1 pressure differential. The valve features minimal moving parts and can be externally reset.
See, that's like what she just showed and described. That's what makes these badass, because they're super easy to reset.
Yeah.
An accelerator is equipping a dry system.
I think I'm going to take this phone call here.
No problem.
The sprinkler will cause the accelerator to activate, redirecting air to the intermediate chamber of the VXR valve. This adds pressure to the valve's intermediate chamber, causing the air differential between the outlet and the intermediate chamber of the VXR valve to equalize. This will allow the inlet water pressure to overcome the air pressure in the outlet as air pressure continues to drop due to the activated sprinkler. In a scenario where a fire has started in the warehouse and begins to grow, sprinklers will operate. Air escapes through the operated sprinklers, causing the air pressure within the outlet of the valve, the trim, and pipes to drop. With the equipped accelerator, the slight but sudden drop in air pressure from the sprinkler operation causes the accelerator to activate, and air is redirected to the intermediate chamber of the VXR valve, adding additional pressure under the clapper. Following the loss of air pressure, the low air supervisory alarm is activated. The lowered air pressure will cause the air maintenance device to open. This may trigger the air compressor to start. The decreasing air pressure over the clapper reduces the mechanical advantage within the VXR valve. Water from the inlet chamber of the valve pushes the clapper open and into the system piping. The water flow alarm is activated.
Yep, they got a fire going over there.
Yeah.
Remaining air pressure in line without sprinklers that have operated allows the flow of water to bypass those pipe branches and quickly reach the operated sprinklers.
Yeah, I can move around too.
Let's go get wet. Don't get burned.
The sprinklers continue to control the fire until the fire department arrives.
So this one wasn't the maintenance so much as just the straight up usage.
Well, I think now
Scenario.
we're gonna
Looking at a warehouse protected with a VXR dry system that is operated due to a fire that has been extinguished.
Yeah, now is where we go to reset it. The fire just happened, and now we gotta set it back up so it's ready to go.
Kind of walking you through the whole. I get it. That makes sense.
Let's see, where's the valve here?
Now, begin draining the system by opening the main drain. Next, shut off the air supply to the system by closing the 1/4-inch isolation valve before the air pressure maintenance device and verify there is no pressure showing on the air supply pressure gauge. Ensure that the system is drained prior to replacing any sprinklers that have operated or may have been exposed to excessive heat in the fire. Next, press the push rod on the VXR valve upwards. This will allow the clapper to drop down and seal against the seat. Ensure there is no air remaining in the accelerator's upper chamber by looking at its air gauge. If any air pressure remains in the accelerator's upper chamber, remove the plug from the side outlet valve and allow the air pressure to drain.
Okay, this is where I got stuck. Remove the plug from the side outlet drain, which I'm assuming they mean that right there. Or maybe it's that. I don't know. But see, I grabbed that. It doesn't seem to interact. Like, I don't know if I'm just doing the wrong thing completely.
You get around the other side? Maybe it's on the bottom? The gate valve itself?
I thought she said it removed the plug on the side of the accelerator valve.
Yeah, sure.
But like, it doesn't seem to interact or anything. I don't know.
That's weird, yeah. What if you put it right at the... Sure seems like it should be that, yeah. It's a bugger wrench.
So this is where I got before and just got stuck. I don't know.
Maybe they have a bug in the thing.
But it's pretty cool still so far, everything that it's very possible that this is just, you know, an operator error, but it does seem like it should be fairly easier to figure out than this. Like, nothing's standing out.
It's on the back of it there. You know where the pipe comes out the other side?
Right here?
Yeah, up to where it meets the... Yeah, see there on the back of it? No.
It's just a little plate with 2 screws holding it in.
Yeah, and that would be the back. You're on the side. That sure looks right where you are. It's odd.
Yeah. But anyway.
You need a 12mm wrench, and they gave you an 11.
Well, I think it's a 10 that everybody always loses, isn't it? That's what all the memes are about, losing the 10mm socket.
Day's over if that happens.
Well, yeah.
Oh, it was starting to...
It was really cool up until that point. It is pretty interesting, though. Definitely, you know, if they get this perfected, I think it's pretty cool that you could train somebody with this, at least initially. You know, that's not going to replace on-site training, but it definitely would be good to have this before you actually get out there. You know,
then you have a concept of what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Mind. Yeah. And for us or the designers, it really helps just to kind of see how things look a little better. You know, pretty cool. All right, I think I'll end there.
I don't even know how to get out of this. Maybe like this. Oh, here we go. No.
Main menu.